Yeah, welcome back. Now let's finish this page in this video. Now I was talking about the white space between the heading part and the menu part the other time. So if I go back uh, to our code, the culprit is this break tag. So we'll remove the break tag. When we are doing HTML, we put that break tag so that there will be spacing between the two sections. But now we are not using that. So we'll remove the break tag, then we'll refresh. You see, they are joined together. So now how do we now maintain the so that they don't lump together like this? I think the best thing is to use padding. Padding will put internal spacing in between the element you apply it to. It will not relate to the neighbor. Margin is between two neighboring elements, while padding is within the element. This is what I'm talking about. Now let me do something. The ID. The ID for this top part is heading. The ID for the menu part is menu. So if I go back to style, this menu, and I say margin, this menu, I want to put margin between it and this one. I say margin top. Margin. We have margin bottom. We can have margin dash top. And I make it 20 pixel. And I refresh. It's going to create that space again. Even apart from break tag. So that is the problem with margin. But if I say padding, if I go back, I say padding top. Change it to padding top. It won't apply space between the element on top, which is the heading, but it will apply space on top of itself, within itself. So if I refresh, so it has that space. So if I increase the space, the padding top, I increase it. Okay, I've applied padding before. I'm going to remove this. Somebody will be wondering, what is the difference between padding top and padding? Padding, if I use single value, and I didn't say padding top or bottom or padding left or padding right, it's going to apply 10 for top, right, bottom, and left, all round. So that is the difference. But when I say specifically padding top, it will only apply it to the top. So let's increase this to 30. Padding top to 30. And refresh. You see what happened now? It gave space above itself by 30. Now, if I say padding bottom now, padding bottom to also be 30, so that the equal space will be below. So I have that. So I have padding of 30 on top, padding below. Within the same element of menu. And this is the element having menu. This is the whole element. Inside it, we have a only paragraph tag. Now, we want to refactor this menu. Instead of having it like this, I want to change it to list item so that I can easily style it. So, I'm going to have UL and LI like this. Now, you notice something. I just type UL, press tab, it generates the tab. I type LI, press tab, it generates the tab. So, inside the list item, what do I want there? I want this anchor tag. I'm going to be cutting it and paste. I paste it here. So I'm going to replicate this and cut this, the anchor tag, and paste and override this. Just watch what I'm doing. Then Shift Alt arrow down and cut this so that I'm not more using paragraph, I'm using UL and LI. UL and LI. Then do this, cut this, and paste it over this. Then I will delete this paragraph. So my menu has changed to something like this. So that is what I have. Okay. Now, let's say I do not have this styling of menu. Let's say I do not have it. And I refresh. This is what I'm going to have. That is what I'm going to have. But let's undo, Ctrl Z, and refresh. So I have that. But in this case, my menu cannot be like this. Definitely I need to apply some styling. I will say hash menu UL. Now, the UL, I'm going to apply list style type to be none. That is that. So if I refresh, I don't expect much changes. But it's important in case your own is showing bullet or 1, 2, 3 in front of this list. That is the essence of don't apply any styling to the list. List style type to be none. So that bullet, whatever, will not show. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is that under the menu, I'm going to put another styling for the LI. Display inline, margin right, 50 pixel, font size. Okay, let's take it up. Our display inline means don't make it vertical. Let the display of this list item, it's cascading. I started with the parent, which is menu, then followed by UL. This is the grandparent, this is the parent. I'm targeting the child, which is LI now. So each of the lists, let them display inline. And let's see what will happen. And before that, let me disable this so that we look at it one by one. Okay? I refresh. So you see, it turns it to horizontal arrangement. So that is display inline. Then let me undo this. Okay, let me disable it line by line. Ctrl//, Ctrl//. Margin right, 50 pixels. That is, each of this list, let that be spaced to their right hand side. So if I apply it now, if I refresh, see, they are spaced out now. Then the font, I want it to be big. The font, if I refresh, is bigger now. Okay, I've even changed it to maybe 30. Oh, that's too big. I think it's good as 20. Then font weight, bold. You guess what that will do to make it bold. All right. There are some other things I will need to do. What of color? Color is hash FF 6F. So take note of that. That's hexadecimal color code. Okay, it's not going to work. Because they already anchor tag. The anchor tag will not allow the color to work until you do something like this. You say hash menu ULI anchor. You start the anchor under it. Text decoration none, then color white. Text decoration is that all this underlining, remove it. So then color will be white. So that is that. So I have that. Now I'm going to do something. I want this color to be lighter while I change the color here to the color here. Let's see. My the color on top, the color of this top part, I want it to be lighter. So that, where is the color? Here, the heading. So if I pick this, so that is lighter. And I want it to have deep blue color. The deep part of this, let's give it okay. And in this H1 tag and this one, I just want them to have deeper color instead of white. The heading, let's give it deep color like that. Then I'll copy the same thing, put it here for the paragraph. All right, so that is what I want. Then I want a kind of breathing under these software developer, data scientists, and the rest. And that is, where is that? So that is under, okay, it's under the heading section, the paragraph, okay? So heading, we have already studied before, heading paragraph. All right, so I will just say padding bottom. Don't forget padding is internal spacing. Padding bottom to be maybe 10 or 20 pixels, so that there will be space. Good. That is better. So the site is looking better, if you agree with me. Okay. Now, these things are working. My project, Contact Me, is taking us like we did. But when I hover it, when I put my mouse over it, I want something to change. I want it to be underlined, and I want the color to change to this color we use here. So what we're going to do, this RGB stuff, I don't think I like it much. So let me check time. 12 minutes gone. Okay. No, design takes more time. To me, it takes more time than the coding, writing backend code. It's time consuming, really. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to style it by doing like this. I will just duplicate this. I will say colon over. So the meaning of it is that when you hover over any link, anchor tag, so let the text decoration be underlined. Let it underline. Let this color, that is where the issue is. I want to get this color. If you are using Mozilla Firefox, you can go to menu here. Look at my mouse menu here. You go to More Tools. You click on eyedropper. This eyedropper. You can get the color here. You pick this deep color. Okay? It has copied it all. So instead of white, I can paste it. OF, O22F, that is the color. So that means all this RGB, I can replace it. Especially the RGB for this one. I'm going to use hexadecimal to replace 0F022A. So that's it. Forget the semicolon. That is why we have a red error there. Okay? Hope you understand what I've just done. So if I refresh, if I place my mouse, you see it's underlined, and the color change. Why? Because I say hash menu UL is cascading style here. I start from the ground, the parent, which is the menu here. Where is it? Menu. Okay. And I pick the UL under it. This UL. I pick the LI, which is this LI. And I pick the anchor tag, which is this. Then I pick the hover property that when you move mouse over it, that's the meaning of over. H-O-V-R, mouse over. So when I move mouse over it, I want the to be underlined and I want the color to change. And that is exactly what I have done here. All right. So the next session, I'm going to apply styling to about section. Okay. So let's go to about. Let's check first. The about section already has ID. Okay. It has ID. The whole section, I want to style it such that, what do we do? I'm going to say about, open curly brace. I say text align to be center. Text align to be center. What will it do? It's going to bring everything to center. Okay, it brought it to center. Then I'm going to say padding okay, padding left to be 50 pixels. I don't want it to lap. I don't want it to lap with the left hand side. So let that be space. We can even make it more, to be maybe 150. Refresh. See that, and adding right to be the same thing. Something like that. Now this about me appears not to be centralized. And what is happening? About me is H1 tag. Did we style any H1 tag generally? Oh yeah, we did that. We give it padding, we give it width and the rest. I'm going to remove it. Okay, so that's it. That's what the problem is. So that is why it is not centralized. All right. So I want to style it separately. And I want to, let's give the section padding top. No, not here. The about section, give it padding top to be 50 pixels. 50 is okay. All right, so it drops it down. Then what else can we do? About H2. Do we have H2? Let's check. About, we have H1, only H1. You see the problem of AI now? It's giving me what I don't have. H1 tag. This H1 tag, this one, I want it to have a color of this. And should we give it background color? Okay, I don't think so. Color of that font size, 30. Let's see, then padding bottom. Okay, I think it's okay. The padding bottom can be 30 also. The font size can be 50. Okay, about me, good. And the color is the color that we use here. This deep color here. So it's acquiring the same color. But the text here appears tiny. So I'm going to do is the video is big now. So let's round up this about section. So the text. So I'm going to say about paragraph. Paragraph, the font size to be 20, line height, the space between each line, and padding bottom. Okay, if I do that. So I think this is better. But if you want to make it more bigger, change the font size to 25 and refresh. Oh, this is nice. All right. So I'm going to stop, and the next video we'll finish this work. Thank you for listening.